broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Get up, get on the floor. My world is with my girls. Living on the dance floor. Living on the dance floor. My world is with my girls. Living on the dance floor. Get up, get on the floor. Living on the dance floor.
We're just getting better and better at that every time. Yes, thank you, Stephen. Thank you for that standing ovation, everybody. And hello. Yeah. Hey, everybody, and welcome to tonight's recap. That wasn't together, but that is okay. We are here to talk.
We're not the pros.
Exactly.
That's why they call it a reclap, because you got to reclap it.
Yeah, we got to reclap it. We'll do that at the end, ladies. It was just perfect for tonight. Welcome, everybody. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please head on over to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV and give us subscriptions. Hit subscribe. Hit that thumbs up. Keep making those comments. Nice ones. You can always tweet us at #ABTV Dance Moms. You can tweet me directly at Candice_Camacho, and many of you have been. I really appreciate that and love getting that conversation going. So I am your host this evening. I am Candice Camacho with two very lovely and colorful co-hosts.
Yeah. We are bright today. I know, we're like spring.
You're both rocking like amazing, gorgeous colors.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm JJ Snyder. So glad to be back with you guys. I wasn't here last week. I couldn't speak. I mean, I literally couldn't speak. So I'm glad to join all you dancing fiends out there. I'm at J2 Snyder on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing that well either today, but it's just from a live event. I'm not going to get anybody sick and make them out for your next favorite after show. Don't worry about it. And I'm Christy Olson, and I am loving your tweets as well. Keep sending me the spoilers, the info, the dish, the juicy stuff at Christy Reports.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There's that word again, that juicy word. And
I love you, juicy word.
Yes. And speaking of juicy, we have an exciting sneak peek tonight for you all.
Yay.
It is the trailer, almost breaking news for Kendall's music video. It premieres tomorrow night at the City Walk at 7 p.m.
Very exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. And thanks, huge shout out there to Mr. Tony Moore, who actually sent us this exciting sneaky peek information.
From Down Under, right?
Yeah, he sent it from Down Under, so we get to a couple second video and check out her music premiere of her video.
Baby. Let's see
it's
it.
behind the scenes. Roll it.
Step on the stage, burn a hole in the floor, 'cause you know I run this place. Left, right, left, strike a pose. Uh-oh. Left, right, left, strike a pose. Uh-oh. Follow the leader, share my pain. Left, right, left, strike a pose. Uh-oh. Left, right, left, strike a pose.
I want to do that and like kick and just kind of do. It was cute. It was very cute.
I just heard that a few minutes ago for the first time, and I can't get it out of my head already.
I know.
I love it.
Wear them out. Very cute. And all the girls were, backup dancers for Kendall too.
Yeah, I love seeing the spotlight on Kendall.
Exactly. Yeah. Her voice sounds really good. I'm really, really impressed.
I think so too. It's very inclusive, and I like there's kind of a military beat under it. It's got a great beat.
Yeah, I like the great beat. Very excited. Man, these girls get some exciting things going.
Opportunity for these girls.
Yeah, fans, if you're going to hit up the premiere tomorrow at Universal City Walk, let us know.
Yeah, Christy might go if you
I
all
might
tweet
be there.
her. Yeah.
With my I Love Kendall shirt on. Just kidding. I don't have one. But.
So it's at the City Walk, 7 p.m. and it's called Wear 'Em Out.
Yeah.
Yes. So, down to business. Season 5, episode 12. 12. Very exciting.
Action-packed episode it was.
It was. And Abby's trash, Kathy's treasure. Now, what did you all think about that title?
I saw
Ladies?
it and wrote it down and didn't really think about it until you just said it just now. I thought like, oh, that's kind of rude.
Yeah. I thought it was
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I thought it was extremely rude. You know, everybody, I guess, like, Abby's negativity and, like, craziness just is, like, trickling down to everybody. You know?
My. You know, I think one of the last times I was here, we were talking about, do we think Kathy will be on again this season?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And here she is.
was.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's back. I when I first heard that title, I thought that I could hear that coming out of Abby's mouth. That's what I thought.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's, you know, nothing, anyway, it's just...
It's drama.
Candice
Yeah.
didn't like it.
It's drama.
Mama Candice in her motherhood splendor didn't like it. So we open the show and we're introduced again to the Elastic Heart video, which is like old hat at this point. When I saw that, I was like, okay, this must have been filmed a really long time ago because we've already...
It was January when that came out.
Yeah, we've already talked about that, and I loved it. I thought it was amazing.
You know, can we just revisit it a little, because I love it too, and we have a couple photos from.
Okay.
If you don't mind, we'll show them, because why not see Shia LaBeouf without a shirt? This is a good time to do that.
Where's the pictures?
We're not 12-year-old girls. It's not controversial for us to look at it.
Exactly. There he is. Hello.
Hello.
Full beard.
Ooh.
Now, lots of different feelings about this video, but I did check today, guys, and 200 million views.
200 million.
That's the whole point of the whole thing. No one can figure out what it's supposed to be about. Even Maddie says, oh, just make your own assumptions. Like, Sia just wanted to make something controversial and get those 200 million hits, and bless her heart, she made it happen.
She did.
Like, let's not try to pretend like it's all artistic and there's supposed to be a point and whatever. No, just controversy.
Yeah.
I totally, I don't know. I don't agree about that.
Do you see the story?
Well, no. I do see it as at first I thought, why is this guy double her age? Is this making me uncomfortable? I'm not sure that I'm comfortable with this. And as I saw it go on, literally, I thought, you know what? This is completely artistic. I think it goes out of the realm of ordinary judgment in society, and I felt like it was safe. I didn't feel like there was anything creepy.
No, nothing
going on.
sexual or anything.
And honestly, I don't know if any of you all who have been in the arts during your life, but I felt like I've done an acting exercise like that, like in a Shakespeare class where we pretended we were animals, you know, and acted. We didn't look as amazing when we did our.
I mean, you were full of dirt in a cage and just working it out?
Well, I didn't have, you know, the extensions and all that she had. And how about the climbing the cage, though?
Oh,
when
yeah.
When he climbed.
Yeah.
I just wonder what they're going to do to top this. Sia and Maddie, we know they're going to keep working together. So if that was the last thing, what's going to come next?
Exactly. Well, we'll see, but...
Can I just say something about this, though?
Please do. Let's get a man's perspective.
I should probably
Steven in
turn
the booth, y'all.
turn my camera on so people
Yeah,
can
let's...
Booth cam.
Hey.
see me. But, you know, I love music, and I love music videos, but I gotta say, I'm kind of annoyed by directors just kind of going to this now.
Yeah.
Because you see now, Hosier did this for Take Me to Church, and they did just put a guy in a big building and had him do ballet for a while, and like, it's kind of phoning it in if you're depending on the audience to make up the story that you're trying to tell with your music.
Agreed.
And
Yeah.
I just think it's like, oh, now the new trend is like, hey, let's put someone in a skin-colored leotard and just make them dance around for 3 minutes. People won't know what to think.
Exactly.
They'll just come up with their
Yeah.
own stories, and then it's going to be brilliant.
You know what? That is the problem when something comes out that's cool and different, is then it and gets 200 million views, then everyone rips it off and almost becomes like
so many
passe.
haters.
I thought Chandelier was great. I think this one was all right. Don't do it again, though.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate that. Okay.
We're going to make you watch the show next week, Steven, and sit up here with us.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glancing at the chat roll too, guys, and it's funny because it's kind of split 50-50. There are 50% of people who found it totally inappropriate.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, because mostly what I read was everybody thought it was okay. And I just feel like Maddie, she's not a ordinary, normal, little girl. I think she, at this point, can handle something like that, and is very artistic, non-sexual. But if you didn't know her, you don't know her history, then you might think, like, what's this little girl doing with this grown man? It's just, you need to understand her history and how far she's come. So, I mean, at this point in your career, your mom's not going to say, no, you can't do that.
All right.
I agree,
Melissa would never
because-
turn anything down, let's be real.
Well, that is true.
And more power
Because
to her.
Maddie's such an established artist, I felt like, okay, yes, she's 12, but she is the maturity. We all know her. We know her expression is like she's timeless in a way almost.
Exactly. Yeah.
She's so young and she's already timeless.
Oh,
God, I love
I
it.
just mean like her.
I want to be timeless. Is there a door? How do I get in? Maybe that. Knock, knock.
Oh my God.
Can I just stop now? No, I'm not making fun. I'm like, seriously.
No, that sounded a little ridiculous. But
No, you mean
it did.
it's
It was a little
classic.
silly.
They're-
But what I meant is like we all know her as an artist, so it's
Yeah, exactly.
If you know her as a dancer, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Then it makes more
cool.
sense.
It
yeah.
was funny when she was trying to explain to Jill like what it was, and she was like, "I was a wolf and he was a man," and then Jill was like, "Well, how can a wolf and a man be in a cage for a week?" So I don't know. It's just abstract. Like she's
Hilarious.
she's so like prima donna mother hen, but it's not. I don't mind it, but it's just a little bit. It's cute. Okay.
Open for
It is pretty
interpretation.
easy to rip on if you just hear the story,
Yeah.
and you don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was okay. We got to move on.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kira sees a tweet, a post from Kathy, and she is going to be at the competition this week, competing against them. She has an entire new team. Apparently, the other team needed a break. I don't know where those.
They needed a break from Kathy.
Yeah, they needed a break from
my
Kathy.
gosh.
So she has her premium team that she is coaching in Ohio.
Girls.
Haley and Tessa have been apparently trying to get on the team for a while. Nothing wrong with that. One of the moms, who I will refer to later as the book signing mom, was out of Abby's book signing her book. I mean, was she in the chair? I didn't really. Was she in the chair, like signing the book, or she just said, "Here's your book and let me sign it for you"?
Sounds like they were just standing outside. Like, have you seen us on Dance Moms? Let us sign your book.
Yeah.
And that takes some gall, man.
That is not a good way to get on the show whatsoever. I mean,
my
Well, it's probably a good way to get on the show, not
mean,
a good way to get on Abby's good side.
yeah.
Not on Abby's team.
exactly. So they're pretty upset about that. So we'll see. But we do know that Abby's not going to take a loss to the Candy Apples, which that leads us to the pyramid.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Real quick, on the bottom, we've got Kendall and Nia. They did not place in the top 5. JoJo, Mackenzie, and Kalani, they were good, but they didn't win. And then, of course, Maddie at the top.
JoJo moved up a little. That was
Yeah.
And our poor Nia, boy, we had a lot of conversations on Twitter, didn't we, this week?
Yes.
Like a lot of people are having a hard time with the treatment of Nia.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Everything seemed to be kind of forgiven and forgotten this episode, though.
Yeah.
There was one moment when Abby started talking where Holly sort of made a face, and I was like, "Is she gonna
Just
go there?"
don't. I saw it too. I was like,
Yeah.
just don't say anything. It's starting out okay for your kid. Just let it slide for today. I
Yeah,
saw
it was
that.
like then like a light went on. She remembered, like, oh yeah, I'm the smartest, most poised one. Let me just take a breather.
It was when they were talking about Nia's name of her solo, I believe.
Yeah.
Speaking of solo, there's no solos. So in honor of Maddie's amazing duet, in the last cart, they've got 3 duets, and I
love it.
Yeah, and I was really excited to see all the girls like super excited,
Yeah.
like jumping up and down. That was really neat. I didn't know Nia.
Cool name, though.
Nakia,
I'm gonna write that down.
It's like Nia and Mackenzie were such good friends, but they seemed to be. That might have been just for the show, but she was like really excited that they were going to be doing a duet together.
Yeah, they definitely had a connection in that group dance that they showed from last season.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised that Abby wanted to see if that could carry over into a duet.
Yeah, they had a really good connection in Amber Alert.
Yes.
So Maddie and Kalani, they've got Walking Through the Storm. JoJo and Kendall, it's inspired by that movie Freaky Friday,
yeah.
which I've seen, actually. I don't see many movies, but...
Like a million times.
Yeah, and then Mackenzie and Nia. I thought it was kind of interesting that Kendall popped up and was like, well, we got to change places, and I don't wear sequins, and I don't wear bows. What did you all think of that?
And I'm not from Nebraska.
Yeah.
She sassed it up a little bit.
She
Not
did.
too much, but we see a little personality from her. I love it.
Yeah, we did. A little bit. Yeah. So back rehearsing.
I liked seeing these duets. I liked seeing the girls. Anything to take a break from kind of the infighting for me.
Right, and like the pitting them against each other.
Yeah, pitting them against each other. So I was like, I just felt like all 3 pairs, they really like had team spirit.
Yeah.
And so that was nice. A little warm fuzzy.
It reminds you how close they actually are.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, at the Candy Apples studio, she reveals that she's bringing back Keon, the choreographer, who won So You Think You Can Dance. And the mom, Kathy, reveals that she'll only take winners. We've not losers. We've heard that line before a couple of times.
She's got some zingers.
Exactly, she does. And then Jeslyn apparently has had experiences with these moms and calls one up, and she doesn't even get a sentence out. And that was like, you know what? For me, there's like too much cussing in this show at this point. I mean,
This episode was a lot.
and
Yeah.
it's kind of like increasing. And like kids watch this show. And I just was thinking, it's like, what a crap example, you know?
What a crap example.
It really is. Like, my baby.
I love that.
I don't know. I mean, it's just. I mean, I can.
No, I agree. You know what I think it is that once you kind of reach this edge of offending people, and then the next time you feel like you got to offend people a little more. So I just think they're
Working that edgy factor a little bit, the shock factor.
I don't want to hear it in this show either.
Exactly. Well,
No, I get enough
do
of
y'all
that on
think?
all the Bravo garbage we watch. we don't need F-bombs on Lifetime.
exactly. Lifetime is supposed to be more like along the Hallmark lines, or it used to be. Not anymore, but. Well, we like that drama, girls. And Maddie, as poised and as amazing she is being interviewed by the paper, local paper. And she was very humble when she was explaining. She's very humble, and it seems like she's, wise beyond her years, or maybe she appreciates this is all such an amazing gift, and not that she hasn't worked hard for it, but you know what I mean? It was pretty nice to see, I thought.
Yeah, but she sort of just acts too like it's old hat for her. You
Really?
know? She seems like she's done a million of these interviews, and even Melissa said like she doesn't get too rattled by anything.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal for her to have the local paper come and interview her anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, I was thinking about her when I was watching her on a video in Australia, tap dancing. And, you just look on YouTube and you look at how many videos there are of Maddie. Probably every single day of her life right now, she's doing videos, she has interviews, she's doing performances. I mean, it is old hat in a way. I mean, she's a pro.
Maybe she's tired, or I kind of get the feeling that she's not all that comfortable like talking about herself.
I think she carries herself with modesty.
Yeah, which is a good
nice.
thing.
Think of it, she could have serious attitude. Maddie
She really could. She really could.
So while that's happening, and this is so funny when Kathy gets the call from TMZ, and TMZ wants to know what Kathy thinks, of all people, about the Elastic Heart video. And when Kathy gets that call from TMZ, she squeals like she won a Corvette.
Yeah.
Or
Like it's the president calling her or
yeah, I'm
something.
like, woman, it wasn't a Bieber sighting. It's okay. Calm down.
TMZ.
Yeah. So,
Although, in all fairness, that's probably the way that I would react if TMZ called me. Just saying.
well,
Kind of love the TMZ.
I do. I would be excited, but I guess for her, I mean,
I'd be the opposite. I'd be horrified. I'd be like, what did they find out about me?
What
They're
did I
gonna tell everybody.
Yeah, but
Don't buy the tape, TMZ.
she wants to get that dirt, and she talks about the video and says
She
it's.
is a dirt digger.
I wondered if the video made her feel as uncomfortable as when she's calling everybody else a cow and this and that, and
Touche.
yeah, like, does that make you feel uncomfortable too, or?
And she got real inappropriate at the end of the episode. We won't talk about that yet, but
Very.
all the horrible things she says. Come on.
Yeah, like
You know what would be cool? You know how people do like cool mix videos and put them on YouTube?
Oh, yeah, like a mashup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like a mashup of Kathy calling people things.
yeah, big
Wouldn't that be
cow,
cool?
big butt,
Yeah.
80s hair.
Does anyone out there want to
80s
take
hair,
up
that was a
that project? I
classic.
would love to see that. That'd be
Speaking of
great.
80s hair, I'm gonna make sure I smooth that down.
Oh, no, I'm looking at us right here. You look good, girl.
Oh, okay.
We are watching on the chat roll, everybody. Let us
right.
know if you agree.
Well, it's interesting. So some people are talking about the TMZ thing on the chat roll. So Teen Ill said TMZ totally just lost credibility.
I kind of thought that too. I was like, why are they calling Candy Apple Kathy?
Yeah.
You know?
Maddie Alex 187, who contributes a lot, just said it's not like TMZ called her on their own. So
No,
it was arranged,
scripted.
so,
Yeah,
That's
very
a good
much.
point.
Speaking of scripted, when Holly calls Aubrey O'Day in the middle of rehearsal,
Yes.
like that was like really.
So orchestrated by production.
Well,
Please.
like she would actually do the thing in front of Abby that she's been told not to do,
Right, there's no way.
and pull her out of rehearsal. Yeah, it was just very scripted and.
Yeah, the producers called her out of the
And
room.
painful,
Okay,
kind
come
of.
down to the desk. Call Aubrey. If Aubrey wants to talk to Nia, we can pull her out of class.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was no way that Holly would have done that on
You know
her
what's
own.
happening here, ladies? We got to get one of the
tell,
producers
JJ.
of the show in here.
Yeah.
And say, all right.
Mr. Collins, you are being summoned to the AfterBuzz couch.
Abby always comes and tells us such juicy stuff about what production's really up to.
Better. We'd much rather have Abby.
Yeah,
so
right.
Yeah.
I'll take Collins over, or Abby over Collins.
So, what do you think about? It's very one-sided when Melissa finds it appalling that Nia has left rehearsal the one time, she's left, before, but I just felt like it was very hypocritical for her to even say anything about Nia leaving rehearsal.
Yeah, and she doesn't pipe up that often, so I thought it was
She
kind of
doesn't.
surprising.
She never pipes up.
Right?
We never hear from
So
her.
why then? That was,
Yeah. Did you think it was okay for Nia to leave or not okay?
Well, no, it was not okay. But
Mm-hmm.
again, Nia and Holly would not have done that if the circumstances were different, if there were no cameras there. So I don't blame them.
But then what about...
No, it wasn't right. Well, I don't think Melissa kind of said then later if Maddie had to leave that it was exactly the same thing, and she acknowledged that.
Yeah.
So
But then what about when Maddie misses rehearsal and that's okay? Or things are rearranged for Maddie to miss, but then Nia can't have this phone call.
yeah,
it's,
Melissa acknowledged that is exactly the same.
Yeah, later on because she had to.
Yeah, I mean, I think we keep saying that Nia's like extracurricular opportunities aren't being supported. Did that come out of my mouth?
Yes.
Extracurricular.
Yes. You pronunciated very well.
Thank you. She's not being really supported or encouraged. So
Yeah. So take that phone call. I'm kind of like go for the opportunity. If it's there, go for it. You don't have anything to lose. But
especially if you're not really being supported where you're, within the troupe. So
Well, and it's already kind of been said and done. Like, she can't really make it worse at this point.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Abby's eyes.
So she may as well
So you might
go
as well
for it.
push it. Yeah.
Speaking of support, then next we see Jezelyn. I'm really messing up my names tonight. Sorry. Jezelyn piping up like a canary, talking about telling Holly what Melissa said while Holly was gone, and about how Melissa said Nia shouldn't be missing rehearsal, and then we get a F-bomb from Melissa. Like, how many F-bombs is that in the show so far? Like,
The pact rears its ugly head
pact
again.
rears the pact is back. So retarded. I wish that they would have shown Jill in like a vignette talking about the pact. And however, everybody, now the pact is back. You can see it happening.
Jill wasn't the saucy one this episode. She's been so sassy lately.
she
but
has.
I can't wait to see her tell Kathy off about what Kathy said about Kendall later. But again, we'll get there.
Yes, we will. We will get there.
Yeah, she's good for that. Jill's good to pull out if you need someone to get on Kathy. She kind of did that the last episode too.
I thought it was interesting in one of the rehearsals, and we touched on this, but she reveals that she paired Nia and Mackenzie together because something like inspired by the bond and teamwork. But then my question was Lifetime trying to put that in to take away all of like the bad treatment Nia has gotten from Abby? It kind of was kind of a little twist there.
Maybe they were concerned that viewers would get turned off by how severe it's kind of been.
I think they are. A lot of viewers are turned off. So yeah, I feel like they're kind of trying to balance the scales.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's
I picked up on that. I was like, okay. So, of course, everything is forgotten when Melissa actually reads Kathy's interview on TMZ. And apparently, Melissa has never read anything negative at this point about this video that's very scripted because it's very abstract. I mean, it's like the adult and the kid. So, obviously, people are going to say stuff about that.
For sure.
And when anything is ever that successful, they say stuff. But it's just, I mean.
And of course, Maddie's gotten those questions in interviews, and I'm sure Melissa has gotten those questions as well from reporters and from media. So I kind of don't buy that she didn't realize there wasn't a little bit of backlash, but I can totally relate to the like sort of hands over the ears, like, oh, I only look at the good stuff, you know, because that's sort of how I am. So, you know,
Are you that way?
She could push that out of her head. Yeah, I mean, I know. You
Apparently,
know,
I'm not because I combed through the comments this last week. So apparently, I like to hear it all.
You masochist, you.
I know. And then Jill can't wait to pounce because Sia actually publicly apologized on the Huffington Post. She didn't mean to offend anybody, and I thought that was.
I wouldn't have called it an apology. She was sort of like acknowledging that people were offended by it and was sort of like, hey, I didn't mean to offend you. She didn't say like, oh, I'm sorry we made this horrible piece of work that is making people so upset. You know, I don't think I would have used the phrasing like they did that she had apologized.
Exactly. And then, like you said earlier, when the girls are rehearsing, E.T. comes in to interview Maddie. And then that's like basically the end of their rehearsal. And then Abby shoos the other girls away. And then that's when the moms talk about, well, what's the difference? You know, now Maddie is missing rehearsal for this. Why
It
can't
must be really hard to be those girls and to have Maddie be constantly. She's like the team captain. You know what I mean? I mean, she's the focus. She's the big dog. It must be a little bit hard. I mean, I know
if
they all-
Entertainment Tonight wanted to come interview Nia, I'm sure Abby would have reacted in the same way, kicked everyone out and let Nia had her moment. You know, the whole thing with Nia and her song is not Abby endorsed, so Abby's, of course, not going to be okay with it, and she's going to be totally cool with the Maddie stuff. You know what I mean?
Because she's not making.
And now, of course, Abby isn't quite giving Nia her chance, but if she did and it all worked out that way, it would have been the other girls getting kicked out.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the facts are that Maddie is the focus of so many people's interests.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, emotionally, being those other girls, I think they seem to do a pretty good job. I mean, they're all
They handle it
privileged.
well.
Yeah.
They're all privileged.
Yeah.
But, you know,
They're
it's a
all
lot of focus
They're
on
all
Maddie.
superstars, though. They're all
Yeah, they
getting,
really are.
you know,
That's the thing.
at the end of the day, like they're all getting so many amazing opportunities. They were in Ireland, Australia. You know, it's just amazing, like what they're all, you know, getting to experience. So.
And I'm sure they've all been exposed to their fair share of the negative stuff too. You know, a lot of people say a lot of things about this show, and I'm sure the girls, there's probably a feeling too of like too much. You know, that's a lot of attention on Maddie, and I think maybe if you're the other girls seeing that and seeing a little bit of the backlash, maybe you think like, oh, I'm glad that's not me. Like
Actually,
that's too
yeah.
much.
I bet you're right.
yeah.
They probably feel that they get enough attention.
Well, hopefully
Maybe their moms don't.
hopefully she kind of does that. You know,
right.
'cause-
I bet the moms feel the same way underneath it all. I mean, they have a role to play, but I bet you at home they're like, whew, what did I get myself into?
Yeah, I bet they're putting their comfy slippers on and you know their glass of whatever they have. Maybe not even wine, maybe scotch, man. After some of these rehearsal days.
After a Kathy day.
I remember I was rehearsing for the Bette Midler show and I was so stressed out, but I was eating so much, but I was still losing weight, and that's never happened to me in my life. But it's like mega stressful.
What did you do?
Give us a second to pick up that name you just dropped here up off the floor.
Wait.
Candace.
I want to. What did you do at that Midler show? Were you dancing?
I was a dancer for her.
That's so cool.
Thanks.
How cool is that, you guys?
Yeah, and Caesar's Palace for 3 years. So it was-
gosh.
How many shows a
Were you
week?
topless? No, her question.
No, I was not topless,
my
and Bette wouldn't hire.
That doesn't do topless. Come on.
No, she's conservative, and she wouldn't hire anybody with like implants. You had to be like, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, but I remember like at the very end, and thousands of girls auditioned. We were like lined up, and I was
Whoa.
like, please. And then she was like going, and she
personally?
yeah, she was like and she
She
stopped.
had her finger out.
Well, she was like pointing, I thought at the other girl, and she was like pointed at me, and she's like, I thought it was another girl. So then she gave her a compliment, and then I was like, I didn't get it because she didn't really like. I didn't feel like that was at me.
Her focus
but
on
it
you.
was me.
What did she say exactly?
Exquisite.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, I don't know who was exquisite, but I got the job, so that's all that matters.
Wow, isn't that exciting?
Well, for all rights and purposes of this story right now, she was talking to you, girl.
She was talking to me. I'll take that word still. I will take that word. Okay, so
we'll now that I know you performed in Vegas, we'll have more stories about Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to need to hear more about that.
That is a town full of dancers.
yes,
Yeah.
But I do have some stories. Okay, so at the competition, this is where it gets like really immature. I mean, the Candy Apple's moms go and hide in the closet to surprise Abby. And then Abby's not fazed by it. She's kind of more amused by it. Jezelyn offers the Candy Apples one of the moms JoJo's jacket, or to touch it, right?
Yeah.
So man,
Tells them that's as close as they're going to get.
yeah. And then Jezelyn gets in a fight with the book signing mom.
You like this part.
That's like craziest crazy mom of Kathy's side versus craziest
Yes.
crazy mom of the ALDC. Like, it could have gotten so much hotter.
I know.
Actually.
But then the hugging mom, who actually,
You know what? To defend ourselves, they didn't really say
they never
who
said the
everyone
name.
was.
They
Yeah.
never put the name down.
Yeah.
So a hugging mom is like cuter than the name. So
Yeah, I don't know if they didn't want to convolute it with like too many moms or what that was, but it was almost weird how they didn't really acknowledge them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she gets in a fight, or she has to force. She hugs one of the ALDC, and then she's forced to show alliance to Kathy by saying, to Abby that it's war, even though she's like supposedly good friends with Abby now. So that was like kind of weird. I'm like, you really want to be on ALDC, but you're on Kathy, which is fine. So you probably shouldn't say we're going to war with you, just in case there's like a chance, like later on.
Well, I'm dying to know what that convo was between her and Abby, because they were very adamant about just keeping it in each other's ears. So if it was like, I know I couldn't tell you that I was going to be here, but I'm really sorry, and I'm just going to play it up for the show, okay? And Abby was probably like, yeah, it's okay, love ya.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And the war thing was a little like.
Seems scripty.
Yeah.
Silly.
Yeah.
Silly.
Okay, and then at the end I wrote, did Kathy accuse someone else of having an 80s hairstyle?
What? Kathy, hate to tell you.
Yeah, that's like calling the kettle black, Kathy. It's funny.
Oh my gosh. Let's bring a picture. I should have brought a picture of her hairstyle.
Yeah.
I'll bring one in so we can analyze it.
Yeah, and her black lipstick. Oh, geez. I don't want to go there, I'm sorry. Okay, so at the
Kathy.
competition... we are at the competition at this point.
Yay.
And who goes first? Kendall and JoJo go first. Yeah. And so what did you all think of them?
Well, I love that all of these duets had such a story, something cute and fun to them, and you just knew that it was going to be fun. But I thought with Kendall and JoJo, when they stepped out and did the first few 8 counts, you sort of knew that it wasn't a winner. They looked great, and I liked them both very much, but you sort of knew that maybe the choreo wasn't there, or just something was lacking. Like, you didn't go, oh, let me pay attention, this is the winning number.
I felt so too, and I love them both. But I think it wasn't like a very uplifting. It was kind of like this fight, scenario, and I don't know. I didn't like identify with it right away. Like, it's a girl waiting for a train. It's
Whatever.
kind of a mushy scenario.
Yeah, trading. Yeah. I didn't get, the theme wasn't clear.
Yeah.
So then typically if I don't understand something, then I don't like it. Not that I didn't like
Right, 'cause
it.
you can't
but-
relate to it then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like the same with Kendall and Nia, that they need, and I liked Nia's, but she just needs different choreography. Like, we've seen the blues, we've seen the Paris train, and now it's just it's neat. We need something else, something jazzy in there, or she needs to push it more. But I mean, they look.
It did feel like the girls could have done a lot more. Like their ability, they were able to do a lot more than what they were given.
Yeah, I don't think I like any of these girls with like short movements that are here. I think I like to see the more the length, because I like to see following through rather than just throwing it away and keeping it here. But I will say that I really felt like JoJo has really improved a lot.
Yes.
I mean, she's on beat, she's on point, she's
coming out of her turns pretty crisp and
yeah. I
She
just
hasn't messed up any choreography in quite a while.
yeah. I just see a lot of improvement with her, so that's pretty cool.
And the girls both did have really cute little facial expressions. And
Yeah.
they were really trying to work the characters.
They were, yeah. They did a
Yeah.
great job with what they had. It was very cute.
Yeah.
Nia and Mackenzie. I was impressed with Nia from the beginning. Like right when she came out, I was like, yes, she's got great choreography, and she was a great actress, and she told the story, and I got it with her face, and I do feel like those two work really well together. But I felt like the choreography this time was like 10 steps up from like what she's gotten before.
it was a lot better for her body. I was seeing her body. I was seeing her body in a different way because it was movements I haven't seen her do. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool. Yeah, and I'm talking about Nia. Yeah, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Well, I know I said this last week about Nia, but you sort of felt in this one too. It's like you're watching an actress who can also dance really well. Like as if acting is the thing that she can do so well, and you just I don't know, just something just said to me like, oh wow, what a great actress.
Yeah.
You know?
And I did like that Abby.
You're talking about Nia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's funny because I feel like I still want more personality out of her.
You think she's got even more to give?
I do.
I do too.
No, I think she's a little bit not present. I would like to see a little bit more. I know it's in there. I know it's in there.
Yeah, I felt it from her on this one. Yeah.
And for some reason, they always have her, and I know it's contemporary, but they do turns with like the flexed feet, and I think
Lots of flex feet.
yeah, and I don't like that, and I don't know if that's because she doesn't like her. She likes her feet to point more, but I just like to see the extension of the line, and she's got more, but I think that it will come. You know, pull it out of her. But I was really impressed with her.
Did you grow up taking ballet?
Yes.
Okay, as did I. Did you take
Yeah.
ballet? Okay, so I think to if you're an old schooler who did ballet for like a decade, then like a flex foot is just, it almost makes you cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an assault on your senses or something.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, and Abby talks about it so much. I feel like I'm becoming as obsessed with pointed toes as Abby is.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
She talks a lot about
yeah,
feet.
I feel like she's pounded it into my head that that's what I'm watching and that's what I notice.
because that
I know
is
it's
a
a choice,
fundamental, you know, the feet, the posture,
Speaking
you know,
of
the
posture.
breathing, like that's.
yeah.
But I mean, I get it. It's contemporary. It's new age. You know, we can't always do it, but it's just too much flex
Yeah, like
feet.
Maddie's solo last
Yeah.
week was very like that. A lot of, you know, the not pointed feet and very stiff
Yeah.
cool.
and lines. And it just, I know it was a huge winning number and it was really great, but that just sort of like
dull.
just doesn't, I'm just like, no, wait, it just looks wrong.
Yeah. So and yeah. Well, great job, girls. They, you know, she did a really great job.
There was a lot of story there.
Yeah. So while after that happens, book signing mom decides that as if this could even happen in a competition, she decides that this is the best time to give her opinion on the elastic heart video. Like
Yes.
she's gonna really talk about no tact.
Drop a bomb.
Yeah. And
And like the whole crowd's not going to be on Abby's side. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like when Kira shouts to the whole crowd, hey, did you guys like it? Like, of course they
Oh,
were going
I
to go
know.
there, you know?
Yeah.
No pressure. We've got our crew with cameras on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Book signing mom just walked right into that one, I think.
Exactly. I mean, and then Jill, of course, pops up with "Don't let Abby hear the negativity first." Like, you know, she's so like mother hen all of a sudden. And then, of course, Kira invites everybody to clap if they like the video, which that could actually happen too. That couldn't happen. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Basically, you have
And cue to a shot of everyone clapping in the audience for something else, I'm
some
sure.
people
A big sign.
standing around going, okay, this week we're going to talk about the video, so how do we do it? Right, yeah.
They probably rehearsed the crowd reaction with the crowd beforehand.
They always
Well,
do.
we've heard
When you heard the
from
word video,
people.
everybody clap.
And then Kendall and Maddie's was exquisite.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was, their solo.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering if you
Duet.
guys picked up on this.
They're
It
a
seemed
good
like, and
team.
someone said, oh, they're best friends, this and that, but there seemed to be some sort of disconnect between the two of them. Did you pick that? Like a little bit of
did,
like kind of
beforehand.
weird side glances and just sort of things where I thought, are they competitive? Or it almost seemed like it was coming from Maddie's end, but Maddie
That's what
doesn't
I
really. Yeah, but she doesn't really have any reason to be
No.
hating on Kalani. I don't know if she's threatened by Kalani. It just something was
Okay,
weird there.
so here's what
right?
we do know about the dynamics. The dynamics are Kaylani is teamed up with Maddie, which is like a score. Sorry, but
True.
like it's great.
The
It's
legs.
awesome. I saw Kaylani like before they did the number, but kind of looking at Maddie like, when they were talking to the girls about the number and looking at Maddie like, yeah, we're a team. And
Yeah.
Maddie was sort of like, we're sort of a team.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know how to interpret that.
Well, you said, so you think maybe it's like Maddie's like, oh, I could go out there and do a solo and win this myself.
I don't know.
I don't need her. I don't need to bring her up. Or,
Maybe
or
not.
whatever.
I don't
Yeah.
want to put like negativity behind something that, it's kind of like.
We are breaking down a side glance pretty well.
I know,
But
but
still,
that's-
it has to be said.
But you picked it up and so did I.
yeah.
I didn't pick it up. I think they're best buddies.
Okay.
And they
Do
have
you?
sleepovers.
What are the fans saying?
I do. I think that they're. I just think that they might be tired at this point of this
That's true.
filming.
Or
you know,
hungry.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, and you get. They film you all the time, so they could be filming a moment that you.
Totally. We talked about that the other week when they had all the girls in a lineup and Nia had a stone face and Maddie gave her a hard time because of Nia's expression. Do you remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
And everyone online agreed too. They're like, no, they just cut in some picture of Nia lost in thought, and so it could have been that. We could have just caught one of a million moments.
It's true.
It happened to
Who
me
knows?
once where we were taking like a huge cast picture, and I got so tired that I didn't even care, and they picked the picture.
Oh, no!
That I was literally like. Like, it's bad.
Was that when you were performing in Vegas?
With Bette Midler.
Yes.
Oh.
So it's
Did
not.
you ever go out for drinks with Bet
No.
afterwards?
No.
Just curious. I don't know. This is in my fantasy. Okay.
But I
I
always.
see you, Caitlin Huffington.
Ooh. Okay.
Caitlin.
Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. And. All right.
We have a question from Joseph.
Yes.
Should we read it?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Christy.
He says, do you think Maddie could win with whoever her partner was if she wasn't paired with Kalani? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And maybe her knowing that, maybe that's why she's just sort of like, okay, whatever, Kalani.
Yeah. She could win. She could take it.
Yep. I mean, for a number of reasons. Talent among them, also getting really good choreography. She's
Yeah.
going to get the good
And the
choreography, the good
attention.
song.
Yes.
And frankly, guys, there's just sort of like, there's a buzz thing that happens. Once the whole audience thinks, oh my God, it's Maddie Ziegler. Then, right?
First place. Yeah, you're right.
That would have been really cool. Side note, if she could have been paired with Nia, Maddie and Nia.
That's what
I
they
would
should have
love
done.
to see that.
Yeah.
Yes. Then what would happen?
You guys, that would be a winner, and I think that would skyrocket Nia's confidence to like an incredible like next level.
See, if Abby wasn't Abby, if Abby was like a nurturing Mother Earth sort of dance teacher, that's what she would have done. Would be to pair
Well, I think Nia is one of the only ones that brings something different than what Maddie brings. Nia could add something to Maddie.
She could,
in my opinion.
Yeah, she could.
Yeah,
Instead of just Maddie elevating
different.
whatever dancer she's with.
Yeah, Nia really feels the floor with her feet, and she, she's got those stronger legs and the big stance where
she's strong.
Yeah, where Maddie kind of tiptoes a little bit more. She's so much lighter, so I think that they would have been like a really great compliment. And if you agree, please let me know.
Even playing opposite each other, like if one was, the force, if they played, I don't know, it was like, about the wind and water, or, they wouldn't have to be doing the same choreography. Like,
Yeah,
They could really tell a story together.
I think so. Yeah, especially with their great acting. I'm being truthful. Why was that so funny? But
oh my God, have we been doing this for 43 minutes?
Yes,
I know. go. Flipping through.
Can we move on?
Yes, we got to move on. Okay, so we are to the group numbers, and first of all, ALDC performs their Get a Clue number, which I really loved that concept. I remember,
cool, yeah.
I remember playing that game, and at first I didn't like the outfits, but then I was like, well, it really goes with the story, and it was kind of nice to see them not in two-piece lyrical, and it was more simple, but I did like it. I liked the concept.
Well, yeah, and with Clue, everyone had a color, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it worked. I mean, it told the story, helped tell the story, even though it was much more plain than what we usually see them wearing.
It was.
Although I thought the dance, I don't know if it was them or the choreography, like a little messy or something. I think maybe it was the choreography, and that could always just be camera angles too, where they're showing you what's going on from, but it just sort of read like not clean to me. I don't know what it was.
It was a little bit of spacing issue on the front, stage right.
I liked it too. I wasn't sure it was going to win.
Yeah.
Did you guys feel that way too?
Yeah. When I saw it, I was like, I'm not sure if that's quite enough to win with the costume. And
I mean, I knew Kathy wasn't going to beat them once we saw that dance.
Yeah.
But I was still a little concerned.
Well, what did you think of Kathy's dance?
It was boring, and there was nothing to. They didn't really dance. I felt like they kind of pranced. They started on that thingy, and then they pranced across the stage, and then it was sort of like, I'm supposed to be impressed.
Yeah,
which I wasn't.
I didn't know. I mean, the gold was very distracting. I didn't know if they were like Greek goddesses or trophies, or I didn't get the theme. I didn't understand
I feel like
it.
she's going really concept-y. She's trying to like
She's trying to do what Abby does, yeah.
And it, remember her tarp thing the other week, and I'm just like, oh gosh, we just got to see the real choreography. Come on.
Which leads me to think that maybe Kathy just has no idea what she's doing, because this week she had, and the other,
like Abby said,
of the other weeks, she has great, beautiful dancers. So I don't know what she's doing. She keeps flying in all these like people.
Yeah, and at least two of those girls are 14 years old. So they're not only beautiful dancers, but they're a little bit older than most of the ALDC, and there was really no reason why they shouldn't have won.
Yeah, right.
I just didn't. I agree with Abby. Kathy just doesn't know what the heck she's doing.
Yeah. So
Abby does do a good job. She's got a strong team.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so at the awards ceremony, we've got solos, and I was like, this was amazing. 1, 2, 3, baby. JoJo and Kendall third, Nia and Mackenzie second, and Maddie and Kalani first.
Yeah, awesome. I loved it.
Yeah,
they just swept it right up.
Yeah, that was perfect, and I was just so excited for Nia that she got in second place. That's really awesome. Yep. And then the groups, Candy Apple third and ALDC first. So,
and Kathy knew it too. You could see it on her face as she was watching her own dance. Was sort of like, oh crap.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't sure ALDC was going to win, but I was really sure Kathy wasn't going to.
Yeah. Speaking of Kathy, we have a really funny comment from Rockets Coolify. Said, "Oh, the horror, the tarp dance. Kathy is clueless."
Clueless Kathy.
I love it. Clueless Kathy.
Well, so then Kathy goes on to, of course, she's feeling a little bruised from her big loss. So what does she do? She attacks the ALDC and not just attacks Abby or the mother, but she goes after Kendall.
Yeah,
so rude. First of all, even if what she was saying was true, which it totally was not, Abby would never pick out a dancer from another team and say, "Oh, did you see that girl? She's awful." Da da da. Abby would never do that.
Yeah.
And Kathy's always calling Abby so horrible and disrespectful, and I just thought I could not believe that. It was despicable. What she said, despicable.
I couldn't believe it either. At least Abby, she would never go after, somebody else's dancer. It was just really rude.
She reminds me of a little dog who's attacking. No, I'm serious. Now I'm trying to think. I'm gonna put some thought into this and think about what breed
kind of dog
Kathy is.
Okay. You get
weigh in, everybody.
Let's weigh in. Let's figure it out. They say you look like your dog, so I don't mean it as an insult entirely.
Everybody should post in the comments what type of dog they think Kathy looks like.
Okay.
Kathy, little puppy.
I love it.
And then at the end, Abby gives the girls a congratulations, and everybody's happy. That was a really great win. And she's like, please just do this in LA, because they're going to be in LA in 2 more weeks.
So much lead up to this LA trip. Yeah.
So
I love it when they come here. I can't wait.
Yeah. Anything else to say about this little episode?
Nothing bad about
No, but I have a YouTube video that people really want to talk about.
Oh boy, should we move on to some
AfterBuzz TV News.
Yeah.
Gossip, news and gossip.
You guys were wondering last week what we thought about this. So.
Yes, the video of the girls in Ireland on the stage bashing JoJo.
Yeah, the girls were on the international tour, and JoJo wasn't with them yet. And some of the girls got up on stage and were asked what they thought of JoJo. Mm-hmm. And a lot of different feelings. Some people think they were really making fun of her. Mm-hmm. I didn't think it was that bad. I kind of thought it was just girls teasing. What did you think?
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad at all. I'm surprised that there was this much kind of uproar about it.
Yeah.
And nothing that they said was nearly as bad as all the things that they were told to say and write down in the studio in front of the moms, and when Abby had them really break down the pros and cons of JoJo and say it to her face.
Yeah.
You know, none of
Right.
it was any worse than any of that. So
Right.
I don't know. I thought it was kind of silly, and it was funny. You know, we don't want to condone mean girlness, but to me it wasn't that mean.
Well, in my opinion, I just see this like getting blown out of. It's just, you know, we saw it in the studio, and now we're seeing it on stage. It's just, for me, it's just too much. You know, it's like beating a dead horse. Like, I don't really, you know, they said the same things. We know she's loud, although, I mean, to me, she's made amazing improvements on her loudness and her dance skills. So maybe this little critique here was helpful, but this is just too much. And, you know, it's just immature and really just rude. And
I think people want to buy into it because they want to
Yeah.
be like part of the argument. But I mean, I loved actually what they said about JoJo. They're like, she goes, and then she crashes. And I was like, oh my God, that's how I was as a kid.
You just picture her on the bed like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, like the side ponytail all messed up.
I thought Mackenzie got into it a little bit
Yeah,
too much.
That's what a lot of people felt.
Yeah, she really disappointed me in her comments.
really?
Yeah, I felt disappointed. And tell me what you think of this, but I kind of feel like Kendall and Mackenzie might have a little bit of jealousy towards JoJo, because I feel like
She's new,
she's
and she gets her own kind of attention.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
And yeah, she's got the big personality. She's the performer. So
I don't think any of the girls would have said any of this. This has kind of been encouraged in the studio. You know, it's become a thing to say how loud JoJo is, and they had to, you know, tell her to her face all the things that they didn't like about her. I don't think any of them would sit up there and say those things about each other, but they've almost been encouraged to talk this way about JoJo.
well, they have, because look at their role model. You know, Abby Lee Miller is their role model, and these moms dropping the F-bombs and talking about this and hiding in closets and lifting up apples. I mean, they don't have any great, polite, you know, well, I'm not going to say any, but, you know, at times the moms are very, you know.
That's true. You set up this toxic little environment where you talk about people. Well, that's how it was in grade
what you're
school,
gonna
you
get.
guys,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When the girls started talking about each other, like in second and third grade, and girls started talking behind each other's backs, and then it like festers, right?
Yeah, it's just like, it's just irritating, and like I said, beating a dead horse, and like I just don't have the. I'm like, do you really have time to be on stage like passing a microphone talking about another chick?
All right, well,
Another dancer?
Let's move on then.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
All right, I mean, let's not spend any more time
Right.
since it's negative.
Oh no, we got to wrap up.
We have so much more stuff. Chloe, former Dance Mom star Chloe, is in another video called Hanging by a Thread. This is the duo that she's been winning with her partner from the new studio. There's a great video on YouTube, very inspiring, where she and her partner talk about, you know, surviving bullying and things like that. So if you're offended by the Ireland video, go check out Chloe's new video. Also, Renee, this is Tessa's mom from the Kathy's team. She said that she has been bullied by the other moms, and also her and her daughter are starting a dance and a dance fashion blog, which you can find at tessarenee.com. And let's just take this moment to shout out Sarah McCluskey, we love you. Reality Asheville, Daisy, thank you for the Dance Moms UK info. Allie, Philip Tucker, you're our #1 fan. Nietes, I agree to disagree, but thank you for sharing your opinion in a positive and productive
Mr.
way.
21.
Alexander Realness,
Seven.
Ashley J. Brooke, Maybelline, Becca Rose, and Anna. Thank you for being fans. We love you.
Where can they find you, girls?
Everybody tweet me if you are as excited as I am about next week's Spice Girls dance. OMG. me. I want to be. Let's do it. At Christy Reports. Check out ChristyReports.com as well.
I'll see you guys this week on Twitter at J2 Snyder.
As will I, at Candice_Camacho. Check out my YouTube at New Mom, New Wife, New Life. And thanks so much for joining us for this reclap. Yeah, we'll practice on it for next week. Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.